We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get 50 after Monday Night Raw?
Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It's a Friday, and we've got an absolute bunch to talk about, because if you've been off your phone for the past 24 hours, you might not know this, but TNA Wrestling, well, the rumor mill is spinning about it. Quite a few things may or may not be happening, including them going head-to-head with All Elite Wrestling. Big changes seem to be on the horizon. But before we break all of that down, debate all of it, and Shad eventually goes on a rant later on in the show about R-Truth's character switch-up, we have got to introduce the panel. Let's kick things off with Dez. How are you today, Dez?
I'm doing good, Ben. What is going on? Wrestling Republic, as you know, the wrestling news never stops. Even though we got the Premier League back, got an exciting game between Liverpool and Bournemouth. Shad's going to be back to talk about truth, and the truth will set you free. So I'm excited to get into it.
Absolutely. Shad is just running a couple of minutes late. He's very busy nowadays, working, being a father, Wrestling Republic. That man does it all, and he still manages to find time. We've got quite a few comments out of the gates. We got Fernando, shout out to you, saying it would be a foolish mistake for TNA to challenge AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, DCX Warlord says Ace Austin is All Elite. Of course, it was announced by AEW last night on social media that is now official. I mean, Dez, that is a huge signing for them.
Yeah, it is. And what a matchup for him to face against Ricochet tonight. It should be an excellent match. I got to say, I am surprised that AEW decided to just announce the news before the match happened. I feel like
me too.
If they had like a Ricochet where he comes out and he's like, you know what, I want to face somebody in the back, someone like that, and then Ace Austin comes out and we'll be like, oh my God, Ace Austin is here. But I get it. It's probably just to get out the way.
But the funny thing is, for the live crowd, I'm pretty sure, well, near enough, that was what happened. I'm pretty sure he came out, and then Ace Austin came out, and it was a big surprise. But obviously, to us, they spoiled it ahead of time. I'm not sure why. You mentioned Collision. Is it tonight, you said?
I'm actually not sure. I feel like it might be tomorrow, right? Isn't it normally?
Yeah, I presume it's tomorrow. You just said tonight, so I panicked for a second.
My bad.
But no, honestly, Collision's the one show I don't know when it's on half the time. And I, spend my day-to-day life covering this business. The days just change constantly, but definitely want to check out tomorrow. A really good get, one of TNA's brightest young stars, and he was doing great things there, but just for the last couple of years, it's kind of slowed down. He's been more in the tag team division, so I do think moving on makes sense, but I am also surprised that it's AEW that he's gone to compared to WWE, because Dez, I do feel like almost NXT right now, with the lack of men's stars they have, would have been the natural fit for him.
Yeah, I feel like it would be the natural fit, but I just feel like, honestly, I'm not too sure, because I feel like maybe he just feels AEW just a better fit. Maybe he feels like he wants to be more of the hardcore fan. Maybe he sees what's going on with TNA and WWE, and he's like, you know what? I don't really want to be a part of that. Josh Alexander had something similar where he's like, I don't really want to be a cog in the machine. I want to be in AEW, and I want to do my own thing there. So that's probably what he was thinking too.
I will say, full honesty, I think he's going to get lost in that shuffle in AEW very quickly. I think he's going to have some great matches there. There's no doubt about that. There never is. But even still, I do think there will be... I don't think he's going to get much TV time. And I think NXT right now is lacking those big men stars. So I feel like, honestly, he's made a mistake here. Quote me on that. I've said it.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell, to be honest with you. But you would be right. It does seem to happen, right, where AEW gets a big name and they get lost in a shuffle. Whether it's by accident or not, it's just the roster is so bloated you can't give everybody all this TV time.
You are exactly. That's the other thing. It's not like anything to do with AEW's booking. It's just impossible with the amount of TV time they have and the amount of talent that they have. DCX Warlord says Ace Austin is bound to join the Bang Bang Gang. I mean, he is a natural fit. Obviously, there's some Bullet Club ties with him as well. I mean, he's kind of extended Bullet Club, but still, I would like to see that for sure. But again, even still, lost in the shuffle, unless they make him the guy while Jay White is out. I mean, maybe that's the only way, which I could see this going the right way, really. Shad is almost sure. He is running.
There we go.
Don't run, Shad.
Don't run. We don't want you to fall.
There's too many of those ACL tears at the minute.
I do want to add, too, about Ace Austin. You feel like they would make a cardboard cutout of him for the time being, and that could be the reveal, where it's like, we have the cardboard Jay White, cardboard Juice, and we have the cardboard Ace Austin. I feel like it'd be a great way to get him over.
Just every week, the cardboard cutout looks more like Ace Austin. It just like morphs using AI from Jay White into Ace Austin.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. A couple of years ago, they looked really similar as well. Obviously, a little bit of a height difference, to say the very least. But apart from that, we got Jason in the comments. Shout out to you. We got ALWWE09 over on Instagram. Shout out to you guys as well. But we are just going to have to see what happens with Ace Austin. I'm excited to see him. But obviously, like I said, a previous star in TNA Wrestling. And TNA Wrestling is making a lot of headlines over the past 24 hours. We got Josh Markowitz in the comments, and also DCX Waller is saying there's a cardboard Colton gun. I mean, because of how injured they all are all the time at this point, maybe we just constantly have cardboard cutouts of them all. Maybe that's the solution to this injury crisis. But now we do have to talk about this TNA situation. We're not going to prolong it any longer. Yesterday, it was reported by Sports Illustrated, by John Albert of Sports Illustrated, that there have been discussions between WWE and TNA about TNA Wrestling moving on to Thursday nights. Sorry, not Thursday nights, moving on to Wednesday nights to go head-to-head with All Elite Wrestling's Dynamite. And not only that, but this would be on a WWE-affiliated network, most likely the CW, because no way are they going to USA, and no way are TNA going to Netflix. So I'm guessing the CW would be the answer here. And I've got to say, I think this would be an absolutely humongous mistake if it happens. I think for the first few weeks, a lot of people are going to tune in due to curiosity, due to being excited about a new Wednesday Night Wars. But the fact is, TNA does have a bit of a hardcore following, but AEW has a much bigger hardcore following, and I don't think you are going to get people who currently watch AEW to tune out of that to watch TNA. Quite frankly, AEW's roster is better. The stories are usually better. Sometimes the stories in TNA are as good, if not better, but a lot of the time AEW, blows them out of the water with that stuff. But when it comes to the in-ring action, it's not even close. AEW, I mean, there's levels to this game. I think this genuinely will be, I don't want to say the death of TNA, because they are hard to kill, as we know. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be far from it at all. We do have Shad here now. And Shad, I want to get your take on this one first. TNA, AEW, head-to-head. It's reported. What do you think is going to happen?
This may be the dumbest decision TNA could make, going one-on-one with AEW. I'm sorry. Don't let a facade think that you are bigger than what you are at this time of the current juncture of pro wrestling. Just because you're in bed with WWE and you're working a partnership with them does not mean that you are the second biggest promotion in pro wrestling. AEW is set, locked in. They have an incredible roster, top to bottom. The men's division is stacked. The women's division is stacked. They have an incredible owner and booker. Don't let online perception make you feel like Tony Khan's not good. Tony Khan is an incredible booker, as well as a great relationship that they have built with Warner Brother, with Turner. So they have been doing stuff great. They've been operating great. Why would you step into that? Why would you go against a well-oiled machine when you need a little jump start to get your car running. Like if it's not the WWE recently, we're not talking about TNA. TNA arguably to me is one of the worst wrestling programs that I can watch on my TV right now. Nothing of it comes of interest for me. And that's intact with them working with WWE. I'm just being completely honest. The biggest jump of life they got is working with NXT. And NXT, as much as I, do Tuesday nights, that's the development brand. And that's your sales pitch. I mean, me and Clark have mentioned it. Worst women's division in pro wrestling. Like, there's not a lot of life to TNA. They just don't operate in a sustainable way. And why would you try to jump on a night where Dynamite is key, is king? It's just, it's a death wish to me. I don't understand why they would even think to do it. I mean, I think I know why. I think I know why, Ben. But they got nothing to do with TNA. It got to do with another company out there in Connecticut. But if we're solely talking about TNA versus AEW, it's no competition, man. There's no shot in hell that they can compete, do nothing. We saw with NXT. Y'all remember when you was on the same night as AEW? BTA, belt to word I won't say that's a potty word. They got you out of there. They took you off that night. You moved to a different night. We need to stop sleeping on AEW, man. Like, they are a well-oiled machine. Tony has really created something good. And yeah, it'd be a death wish if they went in on the same night as them.
I do have to agree with you there. I mean, I don't agree on all the hate towards TNA, and I really don't agree with the sustainable comment, because I actually think it's a really sustainable brand, and they have proved that in recent times. But if they do this, then yes, that is unsustainable. And to your point, WWE, there has to be a level of involvement here, literally, because if they go to the CW network, WWE will have to approve that deal. WWE will have to probably have helped them get to that deal as well. So clearly what WWE is saying to them is, hey, we'll help you out even more financially by giving you this big TV deal as long as you take care of a problem for us and go against AEW, get them to lose their TV deal, and at that point you will be number 2, and as long as you follow our orders, we are all good. There is a key word here, and it's a word, I don't want to say, but it's when you have control over an industry. And I feel like we are very, very close to that if this does happen.
One of my favorite board games.
It's a very good board game.
It's a fun board game.
Yeah, but I can't see this working. I think AEW is going to knock it out of the park, Des, but what about you?
This is an interesting topic because I was talking to my buddy about this because he's saying there's no way TNA can compete with AEW, in which I agree. But what if WWE had guys like Drew McIntyre on there? What if they had LA Knight on there? What if they had AJ Styles on there, right? TNA originals that help make this brand the way it is. Because there's been a moment where I agree with Shad where AEW blew NXT out the water. I think it was 2 years back. They had Cody Rhodes on NXT. They had John Cena on NXT. They had Paul Heyman on NXT. They had Undertaker on NXT. Now, I agree, this is going to hurt TNA more than anything because I feel like AEW is the better product by far. But I can understand why WWE would want to stack up TNA and just make it so must-watch that you have to tune in. And one more thing I want to add with you guys. What if this might not happen, but since we're talking TNA going to CW, do you think there is a world in which TNA pay-per-views will be in Peacock next year? Obviously, with the ESPN deal, I feel like it's a possibility.
I mean, who knows? Is the answer.
I feel like that only happens if they sell them to WWE. Why? Like, I get the partnership and whatnot, but why would WWE give that much resource to TNA for them? Like, there has to be a bit of like a tight like relationship, like a tighter relationship, right? Even to those names that you're saying, like they got AJ Styles for that last show, but he didn't wrestle.
There's rumors that is potentially wrestling, but not on TNA at least.
I will say if they go to CW, I definitely think Styles will be there and he will have a match. I don't think they're going to have tons of big stars over there because, I mean, at that point, people are going to start to ask questions about, why aren't they on WWE shows, but they're on TNA shows? But hey, maybe the likes of Omos, people they aren't using, they could send over there, not just TNA talent. So it's very possible. But, Shad, you mentioned a possible sale. And there's a lot of rumors going around today. There's some report that maybe WWE have an option to buy TNA. I don't know about all of that. But what I do know is there is a rumor, big rumor, by the way, which is going around the pro wrestling world today. And I know where it's come from. I'm not going to say it because it's not my place to say. But the way that this leak has come out is quite reliable. And it's that Lorenzo Fertitta, the former co-owner of the UFC, is reportedly interested or had some talks, I don't know, in buying TNA Wrestling. Of course, he's very close with Ari Emanuel. Could he potentially buy TNA Wrestling, doing Ari Emanuel a favor, agreeing that, hey, I'll pump some money into this. This guy's worth billions, by the way. And then I'll help to have them beat AEW. And then once it beats AEW, you pay me my money back by buying TNA Wrestling and buying the tape library. I think that's a possibility, Shad.
I mean, so it's a twofold thing, right? I think one, I have no issue with someone of his magnitude and his, checkbook coming into the world of TNA because that helps the company out. That helps them being able to get better production, be in bigger arenas potentially, get more talent on their roster, get an opportunity to get on a better platform on television. But if this is a chess game to try to take AEW out, good luck. Honestly, good luck with it because I got my Swerve hoodie on right now. I'm a sicko, bro.
Nice hoodie.
It's going to take a lot to take my boy TK down, man. When you love this stuff, you love this stuff, and he loves this stuff. So good luck. All right, good luck, man. Remember he had his little promo. There's only one con in the wrestling industry. It's Tony.
That is very true. And do you know, by the way, I mean, there's a big thing that AEW doesn't make money. Well, it reportedly does. It reportedly is actually very profitable at this point. But let's say, because the figure is public, well, the estimation of the figure is public, that AEW lose the amount of money they lost in their first year, every year. Tony Khan could do this for the rest of his life and he'd still be massively, massively mega rich, right? There's no way they can beat AEW here. Zero chance. Say is saying, with all due respect, I feel like TNA is setting themselves up for failure. I mean, that is very, very true. I agree with it. Fernando says, well said, Shad.
So they can't even get their titles back.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
I mean, that's kayfabe. But Fernando is saying WWE is totally attempting a hostile takeover of the entire wrestling landscape.
And that would be, honestly, like, all jokes aside, that would be a horrible thing.
It would.
It would be.
Yeah, we need more. We need companies like TNA, like AEW to be here because look at it like this, man. We have all of these talented wrestlers and we love to watch them. This is their job. This is their livelihood.
Exactly.
If you if we monopolize, there's less opportunities and jobs. And I'm not saying that's what's happening, by the way. I'm just saying in a hypothetical world, or if there was only one, like I look, man, I'm a kid that grew up during the whole Monday Night Wars when ECW was thriving, and when they were both kind of out, when Vince bought ECW and took WCW out, man, it was a very, very like different time frame. Like now it's different. Now accessibility is a lot easier to watch stuff, but like now I feel like it's such a beautiful time frame in pro wrestling, man. You have companies like AEW, you got TNA, obviously we talked about, we got all these independent promotions, you got New Japan, CMLL, like it's such a cool time to be a wrestling fan, and you get to see so many different wrestlers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are
exactly.
bang on that point. Davion says TNA have needed to be on a different TV channel for a while. And I
Yeah.
said it, ironically, by the way, 48 hours ago, that I was really hoping, because they're very close to this TV deal, that I was hoping this would be the change the company needed to be a third major brand. Because to your point, Shad, it's people's jobs. That would mean people would get paid more. It would mean that there's a third place you could go to, which could potentially set you up for life. And that is a big deal. But of course, 24 hours later, maybe it's not all as good as it seems. But up next, Shad, I'm going to pass this one straight to you because I understand there's a little bit of a rant that you want to go on.
Yeah, so I was stumbling online. I saw a interview, quotes from an interview that R-Truth Ron Killings had, and he's pretty much admitted that he's back to R-Truth. He is back to the funny comedy character, and my cat is on me, by the way. I'm just here to say
Cat
this, man.
running.
Cat
Yeah.
running at a great time.
Cat running.
This is one of the biggest character story fumbles that WWE has had in the last year. The fact that you are so clueless to understand how amazing of a character you had, how much the fans backed Ron Killings, making him go serious, attacking John Cena, the whole 9 yard, and you completely just change it off of the whim with no storyline tied to it, with no reasoning to it, just a backstage interaction. It makes it seem like you had nothing tied for Truth. That, okay, we're going to sign him back because everyone's complaining about it. Why? Why do that? The dude is so talented. The promo he cut when he returned as Ron Killings was one of the best promos out of any professional wrestler this year. You are a roster that is dying for veterans that can really move the needle. And Ron Killings could have moved the needle, especially on SmackDown in a mid-card division or even a main event division. Him as a whatever tweener, as a heel, as a anti-hero, he would have been perfect. Having the opportunity to him feud with Damian Priest with their whole storyline tied with the Judgment Day, it would have been perfect. Why are we doing this? Why are we putting him back to the babyface, the clueless, the dumb character? I love Truth. I think he's hilarious, but there's way more depth with that. And you saw that. Like, there's not many people in this company that can cut a live promo like he did that night and just have the fans engage and switch the flip. You know, maybe even kind of playing a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde character. Like, I just absolutely hate it. It shows that the booking on the WWE in the last couple years has just been like so short term, and they don't think about the long term anymore in a lot of aspects. You know, they do the long game with here and there, but it's the fact that we go through these little short spurts, and you know, if it's not the main stuff, everything else kind of gets thrown under the rug. And for them to do that with Truth, man, it is a absolute misstep. They completely fumbled a potential gold mine character, in my opinion.
That is a good point you bring up
Yeah,
as well,
you're right.
because yes, there are some of these storylines which do go on for a long time, but it's either really long or really short. And for them to abandon something, like you just said there, completely fumble something which does have that potential, I mean, that is a complete and utter joke. I mean, there's no real reason for it. Do you reckon, dare I say this, do you reckon Triple H never wanted to do that serious Ron Killings character?
I don't think he did. I think he saw it for the quick notion and for it to tie with Cena, and that's it. Like, and that's what frustrates me, because it's like, okay, we as fans wanted this man back in the company, and then you did something different, and then you know it's all part of the show. It's all part of the show, right? That's what he said. What show are we watching? I don't know what show you're talking about. Is it Day for Our Lives? Like, what is General Hospital? Like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, I'm serious. Like, Hunter's booking nowadays is just so frustrating to me. Like, I literally like just scratch my head a lot of the times when I'm watching Raw or SmackDown, because everything is so like nonsensical. Like, everything sounds like it just feels completely different than it did a couple years ago. And I'm not saying it's bad. Pump the brakes on that. I think a lot of stuff going on is great. I think there's a lot of great characters. But you got to call a spade a spade. And when you have wrestlers like Ron Killings, who's just a vet, you need guys who are vets, man. You could put him in a – what about Ron Killings versus Carmelo Hayes as a feud?
Oh.
Yeah,
right?
that would work. It would work.
Like a anti-hero kind of crazy character. You can maybe lean Melo back as a babyface. Like, you have so many young guys that could benefit working with him. I think he undermines how big of a star Killings is, in a sense, which is crazy because there was a whole thing online for us to bring him back after they let him go. So I don't know how you undermine that.
I really don't either. I cannot get my head around it. But we do have to move on, and we got to move on to the next topic, because tonight on SmackDown, we are going to be hearing from Drew McIntyre. Of course, last week he took out Cody Rhodes, brutally took out Cody Rhodes, may I add, and that was such a unique spot, putting him through the side of the table. Honestly, I said this on Allison Analysis last week, but I'll say it again now. I really hope this puts out Cody Rhodes for quite a few weeks, just to sell how cool that looked, because it really was that brutal. But I do think he's going to be back pretty soon, because I do think this match is going to happen at Clash in Paris. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes. Dez, my question to you is this. We've seen quite a few really long title reigns as of late. Is there a possibility that Drew McIntyre, after losing at the first Clash at the Castle, losing at the second Clash at the Castle, finally wins the third Clash in the Castle main event, and there's a shock moment, and Drew McIntyre wins the WWE Championship?
They do say three's a magic number, but for me, I'd say he strikes out. I don't think McIntyre wins, to be honest with you. I will say, this has been the year where we've had a lot of shock title changes, right? So if they want to go in that direction, have McIntyre hold it while Cody does go film Street Fighter, because that is confirmed to happen. Him and Roman Reigns are going to be filming, I believe, sometime in September. So maybe they do go that route. I would like it, because I like Drew McIntyre, and I feel like he would be a great name to have at the top. You can have him feud with a lot of big stars, especially on SmackDown. But I got to keep calling spades of spades. I really don't see McIntyre winning it. What do you guys think?
I do completely agree with you, unfortunately, Des. I badly want it to happen, and Numero One agrees as well. Unfortunately, once again, Drew will be losing to Cody, only this time he will lose cleanly. Fernando says it would be too soon for Cody Rhodes to lose the WWE Championship, and to Shad's point, the honeymoon period for Triple H's booking is over.
Yeah, it's becoming there.
Also says no, because Cody Rhodes did just win the title. Plus, I don't think Triple H values Drew McIntyre.
I think he values.
I wouldn't say that.
I think he values him. I just think his character is one that is kind of like Teflon to losses, because he's such a good heel. That's the unfortunate truth. Like, he's a very good bad guy, where you want him to lose, in a sense. The fans want him to lose because he gets under your skin so much. And I mean, he just won against Jelly Roll.
That's true.
Yeah, he did.
Big win. I mean, what if Logan Paul loses to John Cena earlier in the night and then helps McIntyre beat Cody? What happens then? Maybe this is just a short title reign. In fact, you know what? To your point, Des, he's going away for a month. What if McIntyre just holds the title for like one pay-per-view? They do that September PLE or whatever, and then in October or November, whenever the next one is, Cody wins it back.
I think that's definitely a possibility, but if I'm going to be truly honest with you, I don't think we see the WWE Championship being defended in September. I really don't see it. Potentially at Survivor Series, but I don't see it in September.
They want Cody to hold that belt. They value Cody as the champion a lot. I think that's kind of is what it is in that situation.
They do. They do. I'm going to be honest. I've been playing devil's advocate. I can't see a chance in hell this actually happens.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But I do want to ask, I know you and Clark did a video about this. Who do you think realistically will dethrone Cody? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't know.
You ain't watched the video?
I didn't see the
Well,
whole
you
video
got to
yet.
watch the video.
You gotta
Find
watch
out.
it.
That is the plug, guys.
you
Wrestling
go.
Republic. After this, make
Yeah.
sure to check out
There
that
you
video. But up next, we have to talk about Shayna Baszler because she was on Ariel Helwani's show this week and she revealed that she is in early talks with AEW about potentially going to the promotion. She, of course, has really strong ties to Marina Shafir, one of the MMA 4 horsewomen, who is also there. So she does have the contacts. Now, the question I want to ask you guys is, do you think she would be a good fit for All Elite Wrestling? Dez, I'll go to you first on this one.
To be honest, I would say no. Just because I feel like you could probably do a program with her and Marina Shafir, but I just kind of feel like she's going to get lost in the shuffle, right? She's a great wrestler, but when it comes to her mic work, I feel like she's just kind of there. I don't think she's the exact needle mover that will move on for AEW, but at the same time, if they just move with Marina, and if they continue this Death Rider storyline, maybe they could insert her into that, right? The Death Rider storyline right now is getting some of the biggest TV time in AEW. Whether it needs to or not, it is. That's just the way it is right now. So if you insert Shayna in that picture, then yes, she'll be showcased more. But if she's anywhere else, I don't know. Unless she's a big name in Ring of Honor, I feel like, I don't know, she does fit the mold, but I don't know if she's going to hit that star level.
Fair enough. And honestly, Dez, I completely agree with you. I don't think she's a good fit for All Elite Wrestling in the slightest. And that is not anything negative about her. I just don't think it's a good fit. Her in-ring style, I don't think is going to work in AEW. They've tried some MMA type stuff with a few guys in there before, and it has failed terribly, right? And that women's division in All Elite Wrestling is already stacked, and a lot of people in it are being underutilized. I don't think Shayna Baszler going there would help AEW, and I don't think AEW would treat Shayna Baszler the way she deserves to be treated. I'm going to be completely honest. This is a wild take. I'd absolutely love to see her in either TNA, but specifically, I would love to see her in MLW. Yes, not as many people watch it, but her style would fit really well there, and she would be a major star. Shad, I can see you're disagreeing. What's your take?
Nah, Shayna Baszler is not.
Don't know what the cameras are doing, yeah? Oh, there we
You're
are.
good. Nah, Shayna Baszler is not a good fit in All Elite Wrestling. She is a amazing fit in All Elite Wrestling. Yes, absolutely. Sign the paper. Give it a contract, man. We are so far removed of how much of a star she is because she got so muddied up in the main roster. Shayna Baszler in Black and Gold NXT was absolutely phenomenal. And I think her in AEW is a shoo-in fit because it is a promotion that is a little bit more rugged, a little bit more rough around the edges. The presentation could be a little bit different. You know, you don't have to do the same stuff that they always do on the main roster. You don't have to go open mic promos all the time. You can have creative vignettes. Hell, you don't even have to have her talk at all. But she would fit like a glove, man. You talk about potentially starting up a tag division. Her and Marina Shafir can just run through that. Just run through it like a wrecking ball. Go ahead, create a Blackpool Combat Club and add her to it. Oh, my goodness. It would go crazy. But her as a singles competitor in that division, like, I think they, yes, are very deep right now. They have a lot of talent. But I think Shayna Baszler is one of those people that you can put at the top of the division, whether it's in the TBS title or in the AEW Women's title. You could put her in rivalries against Athena, against Toni Storm, against Mercedes, against Statlander, against Willow. Like, there's just a plethora of matches that can be added to it. And I think that star power can be reignited in AEW. I think she has a ability that the fans would just absolutely love. You know, you don't have to put her in makeshift tag teams with Natty or Nia Jax. You don't have to put her in silly stuff or in weird, horribly named groups like PFC. Like, no, you let her be who she is. You let her be the Queen of Spades. Go in there, wreak havoc, and she's a vet too. Like, I think like they work rough there. Like, I don't know if you saw that fatal four-way that they had, like the Queen Aminadas, man, the Teklas, like these girls work very stiff, and I think she could be a good vet, a great person to have in the locker room. You know, like just being able to kind of mentor people at this age of her career. I'm for it, man. I think she should definitely go to AEW. I don't think she should go to TNA, Ben, because TNA has the worst women's division in all of pro wrestling. They have Ash by Elegance having matches.
But that's why she should go there. She can actually elevate the division.
There ain't no elevating when there's nobody to wrestle. Like the only match
come
worth
off
having
it.
is Masha.
There are some good names.
It's
there.
her and Masha, and that's it.
I mean, whatever you want to say about her outside the ring, Tessa is a fantastic talent in the ring. Xia Brookside is fantastic, a lot of upside. And they've got quite a few really underrated lower down stars. Do they have not enough developed stars? I agree on that. But Shayna Baszler is somebody who could come in and really teach that division.
She would be a big fish in a small pond for sure. She would be one of the bigger people on the roster, and she would instantly be one of the biggest. Like, no offense, if Indy Hartwell can be a big deal coming out there, then Shayna Baszler can be a bigger deal than that. But look, man, if I'm a competitor, I want to wrestle people that's going to give me the itch to want to wrestle. I mean, besides Masha, I don't really like. There's not a match that I'm excited for with that. I just don't like TNA's production on their shows and how they book stuff. It's so like, it's a lot of what I don't like about NXT. It's just really cheesy, cringe production stuff. A lot of characters I can't get behind. You know, it's just I'm not. I don't know. I feel like it would be a bit of a waste for her at this part of her career. I feel like she's still got so much like high quality stuff she could do. And in AEW, I feel like she can do that. Like I rave about it all the time, bro. I really love AEW's women's division on paper. Like, I think they have an incredible roster of girls that can just absolutely go. Like, in that Fatal 4-Way they had was like last week, like for the number one contender, like Alex Windsor, Queen Aminata. Like, these girls are so amazing. And
you're right.
Like, those, even those, like, those are like the people that are like respectfully are on the bottom, you know, of the card. Where like her versus Stat, her versus Willow, like, oh my god, bro, sign me up. I'm getting excited.
But there's better matches which we still haven't seen with better wrestlers. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here to Shayna Baszler, but the only way I want to see her in AEW is if they introduce those tag titles, because her and Marina Shafir as a tag team, that's adding proper value.
Shayna's an exceptional wrestler, bro. She's an exceptional wrestler.
She's good.
I'm going to be honest, compared to who they have. Listen, I think she's a great wrestler. I just don't think at this point in her career, she is on the level of any of the talent who are already in that main event picture in All Elite Wrestling.
That's fair. I do want to add, I agree with what Shad said. If I'm Shayna Baszler, I do want to go to AEW because that's where the best women's division is. But if I'm a booker, I'm thinking we already have Chris. We already have Megan Bain. We already have, like, dominant woman in that division. So how is Shayna Baszler going to fit in that fold?
You get better. You keep adding more. Like, I hate the notion that you can't get more. If you're a football team and you have the potential to get better players, like more talent on your roster, more depth, you do it. Like, I don't.
Not necessarily. You don't. Because then what happens is your locker room morale goes down because people aren't being used. And when people are underutilized, that then affects the entire team. And that's when things start to crumble down. You have to find the right balance. And I think they're already only slightly past that line already.
Their women's division is like not having a surplus, though. They can add more people onto the roster and get better with it. Like,
I don't mind. They get like 10 minutes a week and they have like 60 women signed.
But that's a booking problem, though. That's always a booking problem. You can say the same about WWE. We can say that their roster is overfilled, right? We don't see Natalya on TV that much. We don't see I mean, Candice LeRae's biggest spot was in a men's tag match, and she can wrestle probably better than most of the women on the SmackDown roster, belt for belt, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yeah. She's a better professional wrestler than the world champion is in the ring. Like, so, but she don't get to wrestle. So, like, But that's because of booking, and that's how the bookers are. If you book better and if you book more fairly, anything's possible. I mean, we see it with NXT. Does NXT have the best? When we say they're the best women's division, does that mean they have the best roster? Absolutely not. They don't have the best roster of women, but they book their women prominently where it makes you like, okay, I see it, and the potential rises. I mean, that's why, this card that they have on the same day is All Out. Like there's 3 women's matches on it, right? And one of the matches is.
You are right.
So that's all booking.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you're completely right there. That is true, but I'm taking the booking into account with it. But I want to get to some of these comments because he says perhaps they could treat Shayna Baszler like a Jack Swagger, like a Jake Hager when he first got there, or perhaps even go to Ring of Honor. That is one which actually
That's
I would
what I was
quite like
thinking
to
too.
see.
Nice.
Great shout there. Numero 1 says you could sign Shayna to AEW, but what would she be doing there? Where would she fit? Only way to do it is if you brought in Ronda as well. But that does, guys, bring us to the end of the show. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow to talk a little bit of SmackDown. Thank you, Dez. Thank you, Shad. And most importantly, thank you to everybody in the comments and watching at home. Please leave a like, a thumbs up, and a comment down below if you enjoyed. We hope to see you guys tomorrow. Have a brilliant, brilliant Friday night. Peace.